Okay, yeah, so let's draw some cyberpunk with perspective grids. Perspective grids, check everything work. So this is kind of study practice, which is recommend to do regularly, stuff like this. Let me see, it's on. Okay, it's here. Yeah, so it's a very cool thing to do, because again, it's help you to fight with procrastination, with overthinking, like or how's it called, art block, like when you're not in the mood, or you like sometimes just tired and kind of don't have this energy to work with ideas. So you can do something like this. It's not you don't need to be like creative here, but it's very good training for also like your analytical part of creative process, because it's a very big part in a creative process is like your analysis, right? That's like it's something like mathematics or logic. So and like in the math, I guess like you practice solving different stuff, and more you practice, more quick you with this, and more prepared you for more complex problems. So solving problems make you better problem solver. And here with perspective grid, it's we practice very big part of drawing process. It's like breaking down view to composition to perspective, and also like layering it down, like step by step implement this your vision. So let's say this picture right now, it's like so many elements here, so many details, and I need to simplify it. I need to decode and find what I see here, how they're structured. So let's say first, where's like y-axis for perspective grid. Then here we have vanishing point. Let's see, somewhere here. So it's a practice, so it's make you faster, more nimble kind of, right? And also don't forget about visual vocabulary, because it's everything you draw became kind of your vocabulary. It's your experience. It's kind of like now it's in your memory, in your experience. It's like your brain have this in the collection of your works. It's like your portfolio inside your brain. So you say like, oh, I already drew the stuff before, right? So here I did this like screenshots from Cyberpunk 2077, and just kind of like make this interesting dynamic angles, like some crazy perspective, and drawing this, I just put more and more like scenario, more and more like cyberpunkish stuff in my mind. So this kind of views became like so I know more and more like this kind of views, you know. So I'm more like, I became more attuned to draw something like this, like dynamic, complex, a lot of patterns, rhythms. So when I draw my stuff, now I will have this kind of like this, a lot of composition ideas, a lot of like these elements, like what can be like this kind of bridges, and add posters and how they related, all these like buildings with weird shapes. Also when I go to draw outdoors, like my brain already, because have all these patterns I borrow from Cyberpunk, for example, I will see the similar patterns in everything in the real life, you know. So it's like this, I draw metro station. I look at this metro station, oh, it looks like total cyberpunk for me, you know. So I have like couple hundreds very cool screenshots, and also, you know, it's kind of important thing I repeat again and again, but I want sure it's clear. This is how our brain works, right? So first it's like we have these stages, like introduction, then it's like intermediate and advanced, let's say like 3 level, but it's like can be more levels, right? So introduction is some like a very new subject. It's like you're very it's like everything for you is like very new, very surprise. You feel like outsider, and it's like it doesn't feel natural for you. It looks like, oh, it's like impossible, or kind of something you never did before, never seen before. So then when you practice this subject, you just get through this kind of state of being outsider. You became more accustomed to it, right? So, and there, like, participate a lot of elements in there. It's not just one thing. It's like everything together. So it's like whole your experience is how often you see these things, how like you think about it, you read about it, you practice it, you like you analyze it, you recreate it, you make your version of it and stuff like that. So it's like many operations. You can like study theory of it. You, let's say cyberpunk, right? Like, it's like, oh, I want to draw cyberpunk, but it looks all like a visual salad for you. It's like, oh, so many stuff, like what happened here, and you think like, okay, I will play computer game, so I will know better cyberpunk, right? No, like, best idea will be actually to read book about cyberpunk, to read some like original source. When I've been read this book, like how's it called, forget in English how they call it. Anyway, this like original cyberpunk book, like Netrunner or something, I forget. It's like, and everything is there, like very detailed description, like everything about all like lore inside book. But it's fine also to look like how other artists do it, right? So you watch illustration, you watch this concept arts in computer games, screenshot, YouTube video, movies, stuff like that, and still it's make you like, you kind of diving into subject, but from viewer position. It's like make you this be like a more informed fan, but not artist, right? So to be artist, you need to draw. You can draw like from memory, or you can make just direct studies. And studies, I think, is just, it's kind of it's more like more deep observation, so you can look more clearly, you can see what is there, because if you not draw, you like lost a lot of elements. So it's not only practice of perspective and drawing steps like this, like drawing sequence. It's also practice of it's also like watching more closely, kind of. It's kind of, it's like you let it go through you as artist, not as a viewer. If you want, I can share my screenshots from Cyberpunk. I don't know, put on a... Yeah, maybe I can put in a Patreon or in Gumroad for free, because it's just screenshots from game. So it's really useful when you approach it like recreation. So you, instead of just copy, like oh, I want to copy how it looks, you break it down and recreate, redraw. So I do it already like pretty fast, so it looks like just straightforward drawing, but actually I'm doing this like breakdown and recreating, rebuilding, like like a mixing all these elements. So some elements I draw, some I don't draw. So use reference just like suggestion is your source of ideas. Some ideas you take, some you ignore, and because your goal is not to copy, like to make like perfect copy. You're not practicing like copy paste skills. Here you're practicing like drawing your thing, but inspired by reference, because this actually is what you do all the time. Even when you draw your own ideas, you actually just like recreate your own version of all this material you get from somewhere else, because we don't have anything original completely. We always have some material from somewhere. Somewhere you see this, somewhere you see that, and then you need to like mix your own thing from it, right? So to be more like professional with this, you need to be aware of this process and work like deliberately with this. So you can say like so you can do this like consciously. You say like, okay, I want to take this from here, I want to take that from there. And doing this like small size, these thumbnails from your favorite kind of reference, you practicing this skill very fast. So it's let you improve with this kind of direct like remixing with a certain subject. because this can be like, this is cyberpunk, but same will do with like medieval like castles or something, right? So you just can sit and study some real castles, some scenes from like chivalry movies. So it will make you like more deep in the subject about chivalry and about this kind of. So it's like what kind of scene it can be, right? So you watch like this movie about chivalry and they have this like siege, right? Then they have like scenes inside castle, like feast or like meeting about some stuff, kind of, right? So all these kind of archetype scenes, you just like make screenshot in the movie, and after you can just practice drawing this archetypes scene, archetype or situation, and it just became more and more like part of your own knowledge, kind of. Here. It's interesting here, all this extreme perspective here is 3 vanishing point without curvilinear. It's kind of this photo mode, cyberpunk. Let's see. Something like this. And this practice is fantastic to get through your overthinking. I have kind of this problem with overthinking, just like thinking too much about like, oh, I want to make sure it's good and stuff. Like I want to make sure it's a good idea for drawing or stuff like this, right? You don't need, so often like you don't need good idea, at least like you don't need good idea like you think like some, oh my god, this like amazing idea. No, just average idea is okay. Sometimes, not always. It should be something like mind-blowing. So and here, like I have this kind of screenshots. They already looks interesting. This kind of looks cool. So when like I choosing them, like, oh, I looking them around, it's like which one to draw, I'm not sure, I need to choose good one. I say like, wait, just draw anything, just draw this one, it's already okay. And you sit and draw it without thinking too much, you know. So, and important, like you just tell yourself like, okay, I just need to fill a couple pages with these studies, just all. And what happened in this situation happened like your brain gets this experience when you get through, when you don't listen to this overthinking, when you ignore this kind of perfectionism, and you've been drawing just because you need to draw, like, you know, like being more professional in this sense, like don't be too much emotional, don't be too much like you know, like want to be everything like certain way. No, sometimes it just should make it like, even if it's can be no good in result, but make is more important than make perfect something, you know. Like, okay, like is this book War of Art, Prisfeld, I think. Steven Prisfeld? Yes, I think like you can find War of Art or How to Be Pro, something like this. He have books. And he talking there about this thing. It's like be professional is not about like finding your inspiration and like make kind of like exceptional work all the time and stuff like this. No, most important for like what define us as professionals is our determination. Our determination to show up. It's just like you just need to every day go to job, right? Go to your work every day. So if you're an artist, you need to draw every day. Like if you draw like comic books, for example, okay, you make your plan, you make your story, a scenario, and every day you draw page by page by page by page. Even it feels like no good and like not perfect. No, important is just you need to make this page. So you draw an illustrations, okay. Every day like you draw like certain amount of work, right? Like let's say like some percent of illustration, or like some stage, or you make full illustration every day. But make finished work is more important than how like perfect is this kind of point, you know. Because what we do, kind of what we make regularly, this defines kind of our work. And also without this mileage, without this like amount of work, you will never know what is actually good, what is actually like proper and stuff. You just need to do it a lot. You do it. You think it's not good, okay, do next, and just keep drawing. And often you like I tell you with this stuff, good or not good, no important, you just made it. And so often you afterwards you look at this and you say like, wow, it's actually good, it's look like I want to draw like this now, you know. It's became like your new perfectionist kind of delusion, right? You now this like drawings which was in the process, you perceive them like average or even no good. Now they became like a standard for you, as like say, wow, they're actually so good, I want to make sure I can draw good like this again. And again you push yourself like a perfectionist, like I must make sure it's good, instead of remember, you know, when you draw this, it was not about make it like perfect or good, it's just about make it. So well, it's kind of funny thing, you know. It's just a proper process is some kind of right steps to do, and this is what we need to think about. You need to think like how to do it properly, and just all. You don't need to think about like make it like mind-blowing or like best or perfect or no, you just make it properly, follow the steps, think it through, and things like this. Like Melbus, for example, he have article about how to be comic book artist, and he say best state of mind for drawing for like professional artist a best state of mind is how to say, like being calm. It's like you are not excited, you are not aroused, you don't need to be like inspired. No, it's just being okay. Just feel calm. Don't try to agitate kind of yourself. It's like, oh, I really want to draw this picture. No, just calm, normal condition, and you see it, and you drawing step by step, drawing your stuff. Say this is the best condition. It's like actual working creative state of mind. So we don't need all this like stimulation, like music and coffee all the time, because it's became like procrastination for us, right? Like we are start to like preparing 30 minutes or 1 hour before you start to draw. You start to like prepare yourself, like you can do it, like drink, eat, music, and then you will find like you spend too much time for this stuff. When if you approach it professionally, no, you just like turn the switch. You just say, okay, I start drawing. So you just start drawing. It's not about being in the mood. It's not about having like super idea, which is like worse of drawing. No, it's just about making it, just so. So this kind of studies, they also help you with that. It's kind of like marathon. Try to do it and like ignoring your perfectionist voice, ignoring your like this, like overthinking, pretending to be some like kind of creative voice. It's not creative, it's just noise in your brain, like kind of blah 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 blah. You're like, it's good, it's not good. Just ignore it. You have a plan, you have a goal. You say like, I want to draw this stuff, and you just draw it. You draw it following technique, using certain method, certain approach. Just so you draw it, not because you inspired, you not feel like, oh, I'm so happy to do this. No, you just do it, and if you will feel happy, okay, it's good. If you feel nothing, it's good too. It's no problem. At least it's better than like digging ground, it's not so hard. I mean, like digging ground also fun sometimes if you're not kind of enslaved. Hello, not Jackson. Sorry, I don't know how to read. Not Jackson, Bezerra. For me, actually, like physical work, it's much more maybe like satisfaction, like because it's totally off my brain, and like you really focus. but I'm artist because I feel I want it in my life. If I don't draw, I lose on something. So it's kind of paradox. I love physical work, like I love like kind of work on the farm, this kind of stuff. But it's not enough. No, I mean, like, yeah, maybe this call is like calling. You just feel like, say, okay, I need to do this stuff, like I want to draw, I need to draw. But I think it's like, can be perfectly okay all life, like work in the farm. You can like do your stuff and then read some books, play guitar, like boom, boom, boom. I mean, like, also it's like if you go to gym, some kind of physical training. Yeah, it's fun too. It's hard, but it's fun, and it's like you're going to another dimension when it's like you forget about your problems for some time, because now you have only one problem. It's how to endure kind of all this exercises, you know. Let's see. Oh my god, there's so big stuff outside. Mega truck. Mega truck. Also talking about dedication. Like, I always talking about this because many artists don't know. Kim Jong-il, he was special force in the Korea army. So you can imagine it's like it's kind of very hard work there, like discipline. It's like sport master people, like who doing sport. Like my wife, she's sport master, and she tell me like how they was training in the childhood. They also have like coach from South Korea. It's like very tough training, crazy. And you can see it's different people. These people like who get through hard training, through hard life, and not give up. They're like really like manage this. They're very sharp and very disciplined, and you want to be like this because after you can take it to everywhere. You draw or you cook, whatever job you have, you can apply this discipline. So when you look like work how many work done Kim Jong-il, right? Yeah, because he dedicated, he have discipline. This is core, not inspiration, mood, or whatever. No, just simple things like just do what you should to do, like make it done and repeat, keep doing it. Like it's kind of always is it's kind of simple things. So let's say you need to do something, right? Because you're alive, so you're dynamic being, kind of. You need to do something in your life. So then you need to learn what to do and how to do, and then you need to do what is should be done. Kind of there is certain approach to everything. So you study how things must be done, and then you follow in the steps and making this thing. You want to be artist? Okay, there's like experience, portfolio, then you making this portfolio, you generating your experience by practice, and when you create these artworks for your portfolio, you also follow in steps, which is like proper to such work, right? So everywhere is a proper approach, certain techniques and methods. So nothing happen like magic. It's not like you are like sit near the door, you like say magic words or whatever. No, you learn techniques, you learn like how things done, and you do it. You do it, do it, do it, and do it. Yeah. Oh, and here this road kind of have cars. So, and there, like, we watch a movie or we play this game, right? We have all these so interesting scenes, this amazing scenario. We look at this like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. Yeah, and you see, like, I want to do something like this later, maybe in my comic book or illustration. But only now when I draw it, I really kind of see I can do it, like, and I really see like, okay, it's just this scene, it's so cool actually. Only right now I can see like fully, like totally see like this is amazing part of some kind of comic book story can be for me, right? So it's like it's just some dude standing here, can be like some bubble, he talking, and there's this like crazy cyberpunk view. Yeah, also, I recommend book, because like, we all like drawing sometimes military guys, like again, this like a chivalry or some kind of special forces, ninja, all this stuff, right? You should read Starship Troopers book from Heinlein. Oh, this is so cool. The movie is total crap, just uncomparable. Like to book, it's book is fantastic, and it gives you really like idea and um, perception kind of from inside, from people who being like Marines or how it's called, like, no, I mean like actual warriors in the battlefields. Because like for us, like who never been in army, we have no idea what kind of people they are, like soldiers, like real, like warriors, and what is like warrior mindset. And when you watch like Starship Trooper movie or some like kind of weird movie with some guy who have no idea what he talking about, it's just so ridiculous. Okay, whatever. Again, don't think much, just choose some picture. Так. And this Starship Troopers book is really actually like have like all this philosophy there. Really interesting philosophical book. Let's see. So you see this one. So I kind of like decoding it again, right? So there's perspective, and there is also some interesting design. So we have this like a wave, whoosh. Then we have this like swoosh on the road, and then this sinks. So sometimes like it's not this standard perspective grid with the three axes. Sometimes it's maybe like one axis, and then we have this like some kind of perspective grid, but it's also like composition. It's more like a composition structure kind of. And if I know, like, what I always need to know is where is horizon line. So if I know horizon line, then it's not necessary to have like all grids here. Так. Also now this popular game Helldivers, which is like based on Starship Troopers. So you better read the book. Yeah. So we'll give you more context. We'll give you more in kind of deep understanding and idea. Так, here we have. So also because reading original sources, so being like more deep into context, it's also what you make your creativity kind of more original, because if you don't understand like intertext, if you don't understand like from where came images, archetypes, all these ideas, you will just like superficially copy other artists, and it's kind of too shallow, and it's what like every beginners do. It's like everywhere we can see this works, like they remind something, they follow some trend, but doesn't have any like personal or deep, maybe like inner meaning, or like originality, right? Why it's like originality? Because people who just repeat trend, they don't really understand kind of idea behind this image, idea behind archetype. And to have this understanding, you need to study source. It's like, and of course, like biggest source, it's like art history, and like read some classic books, like you know, like Shakespeare. or at least like books like which is on which is based. It's like a genre, so it's like sci-fi. There is like all this sci-fi writer who been like root for all these movies, illustrations. So it's like if you draw in some view based on other artists' drawings of this view, or if you draw some view and you being yourself in at this place, right? So you personally visit this place and after you draw it, so you can see it's totally different quality. It's like work with original material give you this ability to make original work, because now you have your own experience, you been there. So if all these artists, they base their work on it's like original source, it's a book, so then go and read the book, then you also will be now like this artist who work from original source. So like movies and anime is not original source. It's just it's like dumplings, they, or like I don't know, like instant noodles, meat in the books, and real life when you go outside. So it's a best kind of source. No, of course you read the Bible. It's also kind of super old intertext you should to know. So even if you're like secular, you need to read Bible at least once. Because so many texts is based on it, so many stories have a link to Bible, now everywhere is like new age, and it's interesting to see how people don't consider it religious. It's more like pretend to be like secular, like agnostic, but it's actually new age. So if we already indoctrinated with this like new age in every movie, like now, like all these movies like Marvel, all this like witches, magic, all this new age, it's a religion. It's not these people, they're like worship some occultism. So it's also another kind of context. So you can also being like in this movement, like traditional West, like that. So then you need to read Bible if you want to be like Western culture. People here. Let's find some crazy angle. Let's see. Crazy angle. Так. Yes, so here we just see vertical, this y-axis here and here, and the horizon line is tilted. It's like this. Do horizon line first. So this like y-axis here. And like this. Then we have vanishing point. Like, okay, let's be here. Would be logical. And maybe this like horizontal lines. Так. So you see very interesting like exercises. First, perspective puzzles. So sometimes, you know, I think like what is also trick with the computer games. Computer games, they have like gameplay. They have this like role play aspect. So if like somebody want to feel like a big boss or in control, like he can like have so many power, he can like do so many stuff, you know. It's kind of this role aspect there. So we are like seeking for satisfaction in like a kind of achievement in the inside computer games, right? Oh, it's actually interesting. It's kind of this. But also like there is visual aspect, and I think it's like this what make artists to be trapped by computer games, because somehow it's also a recreate creative process. So imagine like for us to create something, you need to do like this certain like let's say you need to do certain work, right? Like you need to prepare materials, you need to work with materials in a proper way, you need to do certain steps, so you need to do certain amount of work. So and then in result you will see some interesting or pretty or unexpected sometimes result, right? Some interesting image. In the computer games you will see interesting image if you push couple buttons. So it's this also like substitute for creative process when everything made easy for you. So it's like when somehow, you know, it's like kind of form of drug too, right? Because like drug give people satisfaction or it's kind of joy feeling or stuff like that, when in reality you not deserve it, right? So it's kind of you're stealing from nature, you're stealing your reward. Like you doesn't deserve this reward for a good work, for some achievement, but you kind of stealing it by hacking your body, your brain, right? So and computer games, they're doing similar thing. Like you're not actually artist, you're not concept artist, you're not movie maker or story maker or whatever. You just dude who sit and push couple buttons or in a joystick, and you feel like this happened because you pushing these buttons, and this give you this feeling of similar to what we have when we are creating something. So and sometimes I remind it to myself. I say like, hey, you can go and play some game and it will give you illusion like you're making this interesting like like fascinating views, like like they appear because of me, because I'm like so like say like because I have so like original approach to this game, and I can look here, I can look there. But anyway, it's not made by me. My contribution, it's miserable. I just is this how it works? It's been made specifically for this way to satisfy my ego for like great result with less effort, with like minimal effort and the maximal outcome. This kind of what computer games do. So, and I tell myself, like, for me, is for artists, it's important to have this habit to get this joy, to get this creative joy from actual work. So it's like when I do something and I kind of make this stuff and I'm happy with what I made, you know. And more I do this, more I wire my brain towards being creative, like actively, not without cheating, kind of, without looking for shortcuts and being delusional, like I somehow like this kind of creative or sophisticated person, when I'm actually absolutely like passive and just sitting like on the drugs, watching screen, pushing buttons. So if you have like this idea of play computer game to get inspiration for your art, I think it's totally wrong. Like we can find now everything on YouTube. Like let's say, no, I mean, if you really need something like from computer game, it's actually on YouTube already. We know, everybody knows this. So there is like, let's say, Star Citizen, for example. You want some views from Star Citizen, just find some game video, and there will be all this like spaceship designs. You can like learn from them. You can make like screenshots and redraw them and stuff like that. So this will be more beneficial, kind of more productive and actually creative approach than sit and kind of spend your time for gameplay when you're trying to kind of get something from that, pretending kind of for yourself like it helps you creatively. So it's just some idea about games. Let me know if you think something like this. Yeah, like many times I've been thinking about using game, like, oh my god, it's so amazing. I definitely can use it for myself to draw, but no, you just start playing game and sit and waste your time eventually. So let me know if somebody really use computer games for their art. Like if somebody tried. But in the same time, now I draw in from screenshots, so it's kind of funny. Maybe just about finding balance. Anyway, I think it doesn't kind of it doesn't neutralize this idea that game is really, they're really like work like a substitute, and at least we need to aware of it, like when we're procrastinating. And like Steven Priesfeld in his book War of Art, he also kind of mentions this. Sometimes good things can also be procrastination. When you like reading books, for example, instead of doing what you plan to do. Like if you want, like you plan, like you do, you in your schedule you need to make some comic book pages today, for example, right? You need to draw one page, but instead of start doing it, you reading books. You kind of say like, oh, I need to finish this book and then I will begin. So yeah, it doesn't mean reading book is a bad thing, but it's bad when it's a way to avoid, kind of run away from your plan. Oh, there's this interesting stuff. Yeah, so write me in the comments, like, did you practice like this, like study from games or from movies, from screenshots? Think maybe here will be darker. Так. Так, again, same view. Want to do it again. Let's see. Okay, значит, it's a horizon line, then here. Так. Ага. Okay, kind of this. So this will be X. So it's like X, right? Horizon lines like this will have this conversion. Then we have vanishing point. And vertical lines. Vertical lines. So for vertical lines, usually it's like if you have like tilted horizon line, so somewhere will be like perpendicular like this, right? 90 degree. So this perpendicular, this will be center of y-axis. So, and then all other will be tilted following this direction. So it's like closer to this line, it will be more perpendicular to horizon. So it's kind of general rule, but you can also break this rule. It's not necessary. So I mean this kind of this perpendicular, right? He usually create the vanishing point like here. But you can break this. Nobody will notice actually. So sometimes you can make like y-axis, it's here, but you following this vanishing point. Because in reality it can be like many vanishing points, right? So it doesn't really break this realism. So let's see, vertical. So here now I want to find these interesting shapes. You see, like this it's like a middle ground here and foreground. So we have this cool shape here. Some kind of this. You see? I hope it's clear. Like this. This kind of what make Cyberpunk. It's this like cool angular frames for different layers. Oh, forget this guy. Jumping guy. Yeah, so I kind of lucky in this sense. I've been in my childhood. I doesn't have like internet and computer, and we like with my friends we've been drawing every day. So it's like, no, maybe not every day. I'm not remember exactly. Oh, hello Chuck, thank you for feedback. Yeah, so and I remember we've been like take our albums, pencils, and we go like somewhere like on a nature, somewhere like on a water tower, and we sit there and draw in comic books. Like it was this period we were drawing about Jurassic Park. You know, like kids love dinosaurs, so we've been drawing like comic books about dinosaurs. And this was our game, you know. So it was like this, like a computer game, but I mean, I remember this kind of feeling, right? It was similar feeling. We were like making pictures, but you can see difference, right? Like computer game, like what kind of experience you have, this kind of fingers or like a joystick or phone, which is like horrible, or when you draw, you're doing so much stuff, your brain really work. So, and it's also kind of about like if with the drugs, right? Like drugs, they're breaking natural reward system. So instead of doing something for reward, for this like serotonin, dopamine, a junkie, he will just find like a drug, right? So for us, like we need to train this healthy habit, like healthy for artists, right? It's a habit to approach drawing process similar like how we approach watching movie or playing computer game. It should be fun. It should be like again, it's like from professional aspect, you just doing it, you need to do it. But also it's kind of, it should be like like, for example, like after you draw, like it's your habit, you draw every day, and then you think like, oh, maybe I can play some computer game, like have very cool pictures in this computer game, I like visuals and stuff, and you start to play this game. It's like I find drawing more fulfilling, you know. Drawing just give you much more connection, much more it's kind of much more rich experience than computer games or whatever, you know. Somehow you feel like you're engaged like 200%, because you need to use your brain, you like really challenge yourself, you really like getting in a zone, you're not like you don't need to pretend like you're kind of using your time properly for something useful. No, you're really doing something important. I mean, especially if you're a professional artist and this is your job, right? Так. Also, I kind of like, my childhood was in a small, like provincial town in Russia, and there kind of was nothing much to look. We doesn't have like amazing sights there. Like best sight, it was just some kind of abandoned park near our house, and I can understand like some people who live in area they find like very gray and boring, so they might have this eager to find some amazing places, to kind of eager to go somewhere else, right? And when I was in 2013, first time I was in France, I saw like in Nice. I was in Nice near Mediterranean Sea. It's like, oh my God! It's like it's hard to believe it's a real place. It's like it's crazy, like how place like this can be real. It's so amazing. And like all this, you can go anywhere. Like they have mountains and this sea, like colors. It's absolutely incredible. Like this blue color of Mediterranean Sea. It's crazy. So you're just like walking around, and it's like you're walking inside some fantastic movie. It just looks so surreal. So I think there, if I live there, like I don't feel like much interest in escape to computer games, you know. But also, like I say, I'm lucky in my childhood it was not much computer games. They appear already like in teenage period. So this give me a life experience when I remember how we, like, not only me, like it became like a trend in my class in the school to draw comic books. So it was everybody drawing comic books. I was actually leader of this trend. I've been like checking quality of comic book of my friends, like comic book jury. Yeah, it was funny. Так, here is also interesting. Okay, I'm gonna look this. And it's not like our comic books was like any good. It was just children drawings, but was real joy. I remember like I have like Teenage Turtles comic books, Star Wars, Jurassic Park, and just drawing them everywhere until maybe 9-year-old I stopped to drawing. And this what often children start to be like creative like this, like, you know, they lost this they became like perfectionistic like after 9-year-old about this period of time. So start to like thinking about quality, like, oh, it's good, no good. So it's like get this idea of kind of shame, like if you cannot draw cool pictures and you are like loser and you don't want to lose your face, you don't want to look stupid and stuff like this. So they all stop to drawing usually. You can see this. So you can see how most of children, they're like a very creative, and then suddenly completely stop. So and this is again, it's a theme of a Kiki Delivery Service of Miyazaki cartoon film. This is what he mean there, and he tell about this in his interview. He say idea was about how like in the childhood everything feels like natural and easy, and like you can like to draw, you can have this talent and passion, but then you grow up and you losing this kind of freshness, like this simplicity kind of, right? You start to thinking too much. And so, and he says there how it works in real life. You need to now you need to understand what you're doing. Now you need to understand how it works. So if like in a childhood you can do things without knowing, without understanding, then adults, we need to study. We need to understand how to draw. We need to understand how to like how to enjoy this process also. So it's like you need to study your creative process also, in a sense, like how to make it kind of satisfactory, right? So it's like it will be not only technical, but also it will be right to my vision. It will be like I'm using, and you will have this kind of flow state and stuff like this. You need to understand how to do it, and you need to learn it, you need to practice this kind of adult approach. So he was showing this in this movie, like Kiki Delivery System, when he was showing how she lost her ability to fly, and then she need to understand and learn again how to fly. Same like like in the childhood you might be draw a lot, but then you need to understand as an adult how to draw. Yeah, thank you for your comments, for your feedback. It actually really helps, because sometimes I just don't know, like should I make video or not, you know, this kind of, how's it called, this kind of thoughts. Like where everybody have from time to time this inner traitor, sabotage inside our brain. So, and when I read feedbacks, it's really like connect me to reality, because I want to see like is like useful for people, or like what they think about it, and stuff like this, because otherwise it feels like I just sit and talking with my computer. It's kind of weird. It's kind of Cyberpunk already somehow. This is a real crazy world. You sit and talking with your computer and hope somebody watching it. So when you write me feedback, I kind of like say, like, okay, nice, people really watch this stuff. So I make it for people, not for YouTube, not for computer, or like not for myself to watch it, watch videos. It's kind of will be weird. But sometimes I watch my own tutorials. I just like, no, I want to recall what I already video I make. And it's like, wow, it's actually some tutorials really, I mean, definitely good. And like I have this in Gumroad, I have some tutorials on Gumroad is actually very good. have this about perspective. There's plenty videos there. Так. Let's see. What's this? Oh. Lost in perspective. Anyway, I will put it in the shadow here. Here, let's make just a random stuff on far view. So you see, kind of like now I kind of like by this process, like break it down it to perspective type, what kind of perspective grid in this view, and composing all the stuff. I kind of like grabbing it. I grabbing composition I can use for my own art. So like you can make like whole sketchbook with collection of studies like this, and then from time to time you watch it again and recall it, give you some interesting suggestions. Because look, it's kind of interesting angles, right? Interesting perspective, like for your illustration or comic books. And also it seems, I mean, it's copyright free because you change it for your own design, and it's your own kind of version. It's like I don't download this screenshots from internet. I made the screenshots myself, so kind of I choose angle, and then it's kind of, let's say, it's very much inspired by this game, but in result it's kind of my work. So if I have my story, like some sci-fi or cyberpunk, I put my characters here. It will be like my city in my story, and even if it's like 80% remind designs from cyberpunk, it's not exactly cyberpunk. I mean, this cyberpunk 77 is kind of already another product, another work. I mean, like everybody does this. You study material and say like, oh, I could make some in my story this kind of angles. Also have these screenshots from movies like Akira Kurosawa. They have like amazing like multi-figure scenes, like they're always like very emotional, like have like very cool poses. Maybe we'll show sometime. Так. Okay, let's see next. This already did. So this is just some kind of random scene, but as again it's like for perfect example for just practice some scene, because still here we have some interesting dynamic. here. Yeah, also if you first time my channel, watch my video about like perspective basics. I have like 3 video, and also it's very cool videos about breaking down Katsuhiro Otoma and Masamune Shiro and Tsutomu Nihei. There's like really interesting perspective, like Nihei perspective. He have like very dynamic shapes. I like Tsutomu Nihei best. He's like most fluent kind of with perspective. Here I use it's just ink, like average ink mixed with water, and I put inside this brush. And the pen I use today. What pen is this? Wait a second. It's Pentel Energel. Just some Pentel gel pen. Yeah, and talking about fun of drawing, like trying to make your drawing process like better than playing computer game. It's I always remember my friend artist, we've been drawing comic books together for some publisher like long time ago, and nobody pay us because it's Russia. And it's very cool like how he draw. He been like drawing like a crazy guy. He's just like he talking with his drawings, he making sounds, he making music. He's like drawing like so like do. It's like they're shooting each other, like explosions, like he's like really so much enjoying process and like really like playing it like a game. Like I think like wow, it's so cool. It's kind of perfect example of this. Just treat it like a game, but also be disciplined. So here we have uphill and 3 vanishing point. Yeah, and maybe like tilted horizon. So let me see. So horizon line somewhere here. Let's make it tilted like this. So y-axis, vertical axis like this. Yeah, maybe like remember like when you play in a childhood, like with like like boys play this like cars and soldiers, and also kind of like impersonating them, kind of like making sounds and all this, like hey you, like where you go, stuff like this, right? So being like really kind of immerse into it to this point, like when you like start to like really like you forget it's look weird or funny, you just start to like kind of talking with your own drawings. Also, it's like in a book, Jack Reacher. You can read this book on Jack Reacher. And the guy, this Jack Reacher is this guy. He play music inside his head. So he said like, why all these people need sound system if you can just play music inside your head from memory. Так. Same for us. We can draw our own Cyberpunk. We can draw our own game. It's like again, like before internet, you have like something like new movie, like I don't know, once in a half year, and then long time you just thinking like, okay, I will make my new movie, and you start kind of making your own scenes, your own actors. Like we was like playing Karate Kid when we was watch Karate Kid with my like in the kindergarten. This was movie like Three Ninja, about children ninjas, something like this. And I met with my friends. We made training camp for ninja in the kindergarten. So we make this like let's call like I don't know, like in the army they have this like a training circle, or like when you need to run in different stuff. So some here you climb, then you jump, then you crawl, then you need to like go on a roof, go on a tree. So we made this kind of like training location for ninja, and we like need to run in there, like training ourselves to become ninja. It's kind of cool. Now you give your children phone and they just watch season by season all this cartoon, movies, all stuff, and they never go out from their phone. That's kind of no good. No good. And there's kind of like in our time today, it's like also good examples of when parents don't give phone for their children. They just don't have smartphone. Like I was in China, like for example, right? I was in China, and in a high school in China, children don't have phone. At least all these children who I met when I draw, the parents give them this like very old phone so they can call parents, but they don't have internet. And they feel fine with that because it's kind of normal there. It's not. I mean, like if me, I also like kind of say why children need phones? They don't need phone. I mean, like they don't need smartphone. Like doing homework using smartphone, it's like all nonsense. They have like all the schools, all this like obsolete education system, and they suddenly say like children need to have smartphone. I mean, like who says this? Like if teacher tells this, like he can go to vacation. He talking nonsense. But when I was like studying art college, 2004. Yeah, and this was really annoying, you know, when all this like classmates bring their phone and showing off like, oh, I have new music on the phone, and they sit like talking about phones on the class. So like, you come to study, you want to be artist, or what's that? So this phones for children, it's total nonsense, that's for sure. Only why they need it is because their friends' parents give them phone and they feel it's not cool, don't have phone. So just need to find community with smarter parents who don't give phone for children. So here we have this car. Yeah, then it was like I remember in my yard, like in our district, we always play with the neighbor children. We play Fort Boyard. It was like this TV show, where there's like also different puzzles. You need to go to a different place. Like usually it was something about running, going, climbing trees, and find the hidden keys and like kind of try to decode some puzzles. Because we don't have phones. So need to do something funny. My slurping cat, wake up. So also when you have perspective grid, you draw in clouds. You can here also I can draw like some kind of flying thing here. And clouds, they will feel like they're following perspective. You can kind of snap clouds to the grid. That's why in storyboards artists always show perspective grid for sky, for everywhere, so you have just a better feeling. You can snap anything to perspective grid, even if it's just like a dust on a desert, kind of some flat surface, or if like clouds in the sky. It's better if is there a grid. Here's some studies motorcycle. Oop. Так. Ой. Так, let's see what image we can put into this vertical. Let's just make this one. So you can do also like this. You can like invert. You look a reference and draw it like if flipping it, or like change direction. Also can just to help yourself with this idea of recreating image instead of copying image. So it's like advertising here. Can add some this kind of bridges or junctions. And there's moon. Actually, I like to make this one like rain. Let's make it like a raining here. So it's like this Y perspective, this vertical axis for in perspective grid will be also grid for raindrops. So this kind of on the ground is like have splashes of water also in a car. Kind of a rainy night. So also actually, yeah, this ink, this pen, pretty good. I like how it's dry very fast and it's handle water. It doesn't really dissolve. So it's again Pentel Energel 05. Pentel Energel. So maybe I can check like different size. Like this is 05. Maybe I will check like 07. Also is night sky here. Also, I also practice value composition, so it's like use only one gray or two shades of gray. So I have like here's like light gray and dark gray, so it's like just a little darker. So instead of kind of making like very complex like values, right? It's just one or two values here. So it's kind of essential also. Every artist practice this stuff. Practice like value thumbnails, because you will also need it when you make your compositions, your work. You often will need to make this like value thumbnails to figure out what kind of value composition you want. And what's this? Because just with this simple value you can do most of work, so to kind of make this mood, right, to establish mood in your work, like general mood, general kind of like contrast level, like how much is dark, and how much big contrast between light and dark is, like bright picture or is dark picture, and stuff like this. Okay, so for today I think it will be enough, so see you in the next stream. Also write comments, and like I say, I'm really glad to read your comments, to see kind of people reaction, people feedback.